Tunisia, a land of history, stunning Mediterranean coastlines and vibrant markets. But what if we could capture its beauty not just with a camera, but with a paintbrush? Join me as I explore Tunisia solo, sketchbook in hand, visiting ancient ruins, colorful streets, and breathtaking seaside towns, one watercolor at a time. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. After a very long time, I'm traveling solo again, so this video might feel a bit different from others, more introspective, more about the quiet moments, and of course, filled with the beauty of Tunisia through my watercolor sketches. My journey starts in the capital city, Tunis. This city is a mix of past and present, where the ancient Medina, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, feels like stepping into a storybook. The narrow alleys are filled with scents of spices, freshly baked bread, and leather goods. For my very first sketch in Tunisia, I headed to Kasbah Square, the vibrant and modern heart of the capital. Here, I painted the city hall, a building with a contemporary design that still strongly reflects the traditional Arab architectural style characteristic of this country. The architecture here is incredible, especially the traditional doors. Each one tells a story. Do you know that in Tunisia, the number of door knockers often indicates the social status of the family inside? More knockers, more wealth. For my final sketch in Tunis, I ventured into the heart of the Medina, where shopkeepers often invite visitors into their stores, not just to browse, but to admire the breathtaking views from their terraces. From one of these rooftops, I painted a panoramic scene of the city, with the majestic mosque of Zitouna in the foreground. This mosque, the oldest and most important in Tunisia, stands as a symbol of the city's deep history and culture. The view was a painter's dream. Layers of white rooftops, minarets, and winding streets bathed in golden light. Capturing the contrast between sunlit domes and cool shadows with watercolor was a challenge, but it was the perfect way to end my time sketching in Tunis. The next day, I had a day trip to Bizerte, Tunisia's northernmost city, which is often overlooked, but trust me, it's a hidden gem. The old port, lined with blue and white buildings, makes a dreamy subject for watercolor painting. This town has a strong maritime history. In fact, it was once a key naval base for different civilizations, from the Phoenicians to the Ottomans. The challenge here, capturing the reflection of boats on the water. With watercolor, layering and timing are everything. While in Bizerte, I also visit the Spanish fort, a historic fortress perched above the city. Built during the 16th century, it once served as a strategic defense point overlooking the Mediterranean. You can still climb its ancient walls for a panoramic view of the city and the sea, but beyond that, there isn't much left to explore inside. Still, standing atop the fort, imagining its past was a reminder of Bizerta's long and layered history. My next stop was Sousse. This coastal city is known for its stunning beaches and historical fortifications. The Ribat of Sousse, an ancient Islamic fortress, offers one of the best views in Tunisia. Here, I focused on light and shadows. The warm ochre tones of the buildings contrast beautifully with the blue of the sky. While staying in Sousse, I took a day trip to El Jem, about 1 hour drive south. I came to El Jem for one reason: the incredible amphitheater, the third largest in the Roman world and one of the best preserved. Standing in its massive stone corridors, it's easy to imagine the roar of 35,000 spectators watching gladiator battles centuries ago. The scale and grandeur of this place are breathtaking, and it was fascinating to see how it still dominates the town today. Sketching ancient ruins like this is always exciting. The trick is using loose, expressive strokes to capture its grandeur. Before leaving, I made a stop at the El Jem Museum, which houses an impressive collection of Roman mosaics. Some of them are so detailed and well preserved that they look like paintings made of stone. Walking through the museum was like stepping back in time, offering a glimpse into the artistic mastery of ancient Roman Tunisia. The next day, I had another day trip and I went to Monastir. This time located only 20 minutes away from Sousse. I start my morning in Monastir with a peaceful moment by the beach, painting the view of the Ribat, its golden stone walls standing proudly against the backdrop of the deep blue sea. The contrast between the fortress and the shimmering water made for a perfect watercolor study, with warm tones blending into cool, reflective hues. After finishing my sketch, I headed inside to explore the Ribat of Monastir, one of the oldest and most well-preserved fortresses in North Africa. Originally built in the 8th century, it was both a defensive stronghold and a place of religious retreat. Climbing its towers, I was rewarded by breathtaking views of the coastline, an incredible mix of history and scenery in one place. But Monastir is not just a beach town. It's the birthplace of Tunisia's first president. His mausoleum is an architectural masterpiece with golden domes and intricate mosaics. For my last 2 days in Tunisia, I headed north once again. This time staying close to the capital, but by the sea. My journey was almost complete, but there were still 2 incredible towns left to visit. Both rich in history and charm, they offered the perfect way to end this adventure, blending coastal beauty with centuries-old heritage. With my sketchbook in hand, I was ready to capture their essence one last time. My first stop was Carthage, located next to the airport of Tunis. Carthage, once a mighty empire that rivaled Rome, now exists as a scattered ruins woven into the fabric of the modern city. Unlike other ancient sites, there's no single archaeological complex, just pockets of history hidden among parks, residential areas, and quiet streets. While not much remains of its former grandeur, walking through these remnants still gives a sense of its legendary past. The highlight, without a doubt, is the Baths of Antoninus, the largest Roman baths in Africa and one of the most impressive sites in Carthage. Built in the 2nd century AD under Emperor Antoninus, these baths were part of an opulent seaside complex where Roman elites once gathered to socialize and relax. Even if only the foundation and a few towering columns remain, their sheer size hints at the luxury they once held. Standing by the ruins, with the Mediterranean stretching beyond, I knew this was the perfect subject to paint, an echo of history meeting the sea. My journey wouldn't be complete without a visit to Sidi Bou Said, Tunisia's most picturesque town. Perched on a hill overlooking the Mediterranean, this village is a dream of blue and white, where every street feels like a painting waiting to happen. The tradition of painting buildings in these colors dates back to the 20s, inspired by a French painter who helped preserve the town's distinct aesthetic. Wandering through its cobbled streets, I found endless inspiration, from the intricate wrought iron balconies to the ornate studded doors. But the most breathtaking view was from one of its famous terraces, where the deep blue sea stretched endlessly beyond the rooftops. That's exactly what I decided to paint, capturing the contrast between the crisp white walls and the shimmering Mediterranean below. There's a reason why artists and writers have been drawn to Sidi Bou Said for centuries. It's a place where time slows down and creativity flows. This trip was a little different because after a very long time I was traveling alone again. Solo travel gives you a unique perspective. You notice details you might overlook in company, but you connect with places in a more personal way, and in my case, you have all the time in the world to sit, observe, and sketch. It's both exciting and a little daunting, but that's part of the adventure. This solo adventure through Tunisia has been unforgettable, filled with history, colors, and creativity. If you love travel and art, I highly recommend taking a sketchbook on your next journey. It changes the way you see the world. Let me know in the comments which place would you love to sketch. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel art adventures. And see you in the next one.